to speak. I'd ask that everyone please limit their comments to 3 minutes. Please keep in mind that the structure of our meeting does not allow for two-way dialogue during public comment. Or to answer your questions, residents can contact their district alderman by phone or email regarding any issue or concerns. We welcome any and appreciate any comments or concerns regarding city business. Right now we have Mr. Mayor, we have a presentation.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to City Hall. This is a great moment for Milford. I remember Father's Day. I had a beautiful day with my family, spent the whole day. My wife cooked us dinner. At the end of the day, she said, "What would you like to do next?" I said, "I'd like to go to UConn and watch the girls' championship softball game." And that's what we did. We took a road trip up there. It was a fantastic evening. It was a great game. It was something that I'll always remember, being mayor of the city of Milford, going up there and seeing the team, the families, the friends, all cheering on the girls' softball team, who actually were undefeated throughout the whole season. So this just made it even more exciting, and I thought and I felt that I needed to be there, and I am so glad I went. Just some background information. The last time Foreign won the SCC Conference Championship was in 2012, the second state championship since 2011. Head coach Gina Giorgetti was on both the SCC and state championship teams as the starting first baseman. It is Giorgetti's third year as head coach, and she was the assistant for 5 years before that. Foreign was voted by Connecticut High School Association as the Connecticut High School Softball Team of the Year. Sports Illustrated picked Foreign as the #1 team in Connecticut and upped them in the conversation for one of New England's top squads of the year. Our pitcher, the one and only Abby Corus, the MVP of the Class M championship game, threw 188 pitches, and I was there, 13 innings, with 133 of those pitches being strikes. Just imagine that. That's remarkable. That's unbelievable. It's incredible. And it's my honor as the mayor before you to have you here at City Hall to recognize what you've accomplished, not only as a team, but as individuals. These girls were so composed on that field. It was truly remarkable to watch the game and how they were so in the zone. And it was a game that went 0-0 for a long time. We ended up winning by 1 run, and it was a pitcher's duel. It was something that probably for me, one of the best, if not the best softball game that I've ever been to. It's my honor to present this proclamation to the Foreign High girls. Joseph A. Foreign High School softball team ended the 2025 season with a perfect record of 28-0, winning the Class M state championship as well as the SCC Conference Championship. And this was Foreign's first perfect season in program history. A big round of applause. The first. The city is so proud of you girls as they beat number 1 seeded Woodland 1-0 after 13 innings to take home the program's first state championship since 2011. Before the state tournament, the Lions beat the top seed in the defending champs, Cheshire, in the SCC Conference tournament, beating the Rams 2-1. These are close games, ladies and gentlemen, but we prevailed. We won. We are the champions. The championship team was led by teacher and former player Gina Giorgetti. Where's Gina? Where is she? Big round of applause. Gina was recognized as both the SCC and CIAC Coach of the Year for her extraordinary leadership and assistance. Her assistant was Abigail Blanchard. Abigail, stand up. Many thanks to these two incredible women. And also Coach Mike Giorgetti. Where's Mike? Hello, Mike. How are you? Duffy Lynch. Hello, Duffy. Where are you? No? Ryan Donovan. No? Okay. The Lions featured a very talented and unified roster of student athletes. Olivia, Maya, Captain Julia, Savannah, Madeline, Ariella, Captain Alyssa, Scarlett, Nora, Audrey, Holly, Abigail, Nyla, Miranda, Emily, Grace, Maya, Julia, and Caroline. Among them, Abigail earned first team All SCC Class M All-State, the SCC tournaments, Danny Kemp Most Outstanding Player Award, and MVP honors in the state championship. Please rise, Abigail. Where are you? Madeline was named first team All-SCC and Class M All-State. Where's Madeline? Come on, Madeline. Congratulations. While Nora and Ariella received second team All-SCC. Where is Nora and Ariella? There you are. So this is a very exciting moment here in Milford. This is a historic moment, I gotta tell you, in high school sports, and girls especially. We're so proud of our girls. We have an excellent softball program. And a lot of these girls, it's been brought to my attention, will be returning. I think there was only maybe two seniors on the team. The rest will be returning. So we look forward to the next season. We congratulate you on a perfect season. Let this unforgettable season be a testament to the leadership and the unity of Foreign softball. With a perfect record, multiple impressive individual awards that were mentioned here tonight, and a storybook finish. It truly was a storybook finish. Watching the game, even the highlights, if you weren't there when you saw the last pitch and you saw the team run out and all come together, it was great. It was great. And I'm happy that I was there. This team has brought unbelievable amounts of inspiration and pride. Foreign pride, they talk about lion pride, to the entire foreign high school and Milford community. Now, therefore, I, Anthony S. Ginatasio, Mayor of the City of Milford, Connecticut, by the virtue of the authority vested in me and on behalf of all the citizens of Milford, do hereby proclaim Monday, today, July 7th, 2025, as Foreign Softball Championship Day. In Milford, we extend our congratulations and our pride to their accomplishments and our appreciation for their good sportsmanship. And that's also very important, the sportsmanship. So please come forward. I'd like to give each and every one on the team a proclamation along with the coaches. Please come forward. The Foreign High Girls Softball Championship Team 2025, undefeated, perfect, our champs, our girls. Oh, thank you so much. This is a great treasure. This will stay with me. This will be in my office. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for each and every one of you, please, our congratulations. You are the best. We are the best. These girls deserve one big round of applause. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you all for coming.
Anyone wishing to address the board can do so at this time. Please state your name and address clearly for the record. I thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Sure. My name is Ann Carter. I live at 35 Burwell Avenue here in Milford, and I am making my appearance tonight to thank the Democrats on the Board of Aldermen for holding the line on spending. The mayor has submitted a budget that increased spending and raised taxes and attempted to lay the blame to the Democrats. And I just want to go on record by saying that, to my knowledge, not $1 was added to the budget by the Democrats. So thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Julian DiDonato. I reside at 834 Pope's Island Road in Milford, Connecticut at the Coswell Cove condominium complex. I'm the newly elected president of Coswell Cove, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you tonight. So, you may not know, some of you do know, that Coswell Cove is a community of over 204 residents, along with 120 slips at our marina on the bank of the Housatonic River in eastern Milford. We're situated on 44 acres, comprising 12 three-story buildings and containing over 400 residents. We've been there for over 30 years, and we're proud to be in Milford, and it's an ideal setting. On a personal note, I wake up each morning, go out to my deck, and enjoy a beautiful natural view of the river, and I end most of my days looking out onto spectacular sunsets overlooking the river. But there's one major issue disrupting this ideal setting, and the issue is we are 50 feet across the street from the Housatonic water treatment plant. My first thought as I opened the sliders on my deck on a morning like this morning is, will I face the noxious odor when I take my first breath? I'm not alone with this sentiment. Here tonight we have a number of our fellow residents who experience very similar, if not even more intense odor that's emitting from the water treatment plant. Depending on which way the wind blows, the buildings closest to the water treatment plant suffer intense odors on many mornings, especially during the summer. This condition is nothing new. The Coswell Cove condominium has endured this odor in varying degrees since 1992, when our first residents moved in. It is not a case that steps haven't been taken by the administration here, the aldermen's and the mayor's office, going back many years, but they have been ineffective. And I have to think, why is that? I don't think we're treated as a priority. That's the only thing I come up with. And we haven't been a priority. Going back to 1988, the city, realizing that there was issues here with the sewage system throughout Milford, did a study testing the high levels of hydrogen sulfide, which is the gas that's producing this odor, in the Milford sewer systems, which has caused, or did cause and continues to cause, damage to key pumping stations, sewer mains, and the waste treatment plant itself, and there are two of them. This has been a source of continued odor complaints that have not been addressed properly. In that time, 1988, handheld sensors measured the atmospheric hydrogen sulfide downstream manholes and found it, some of them, to be as high as 900 parts per million at that time, a level that is extremely dangerous, can cause immediate unconsciousness and collapse within 2 breaths. I have a copy of the study done by Echo Oxygen Technology to verify what I'm saying is true. Based on this study, a pure oxygen injected system was chosen at the Golf Pond pump station to address this problem. Oxygen was first turned on April 2012, and the change was immediate. The oxygen injection system has proven to be a simple, efficient, and cost-effective method of reducing the hydrogen sulfide gas at the Golf Pound pump station and downstream as well, with the pump station nearest to Coswell Cove, the West Avenue pump station. The city found that operating the system, since it is very economical solution, at approximately $60 a day, with maximum oxygen usage. So I posed a simple question to the Sewer Commission at their meeting on May 28th. I forwarded them a written copy, and I have it here, and here is their response. My first question is, why is there no atmospheric monitoring and testing extending to the Housatonic water treatment plant to detect levels of hydrogen sulfide emitted from the plant into our community? And why can't we trigger the system to inject oxygen further downstream to alleviate this problem? The answer I received a month later on June 26th was from Weston and Sampson, the city's consulting engineers. And the answer was no, there is no monitoring equipment at either treatment facility, and therefore there is no record of the number of incidents of atmospheric release of hydrogen sulfide gas emitted from either plant.
Sir, excuse me, are you ready to wrap this up?
I'm almost up.
Okay.
And
In all honesty,
I have one more page, I'll finish. So the problem is not whether there's a viable solution. The problem is why haven't we given priority from the Sewer Commission and from our representatives here? A second question I had was, can the Sewer Commission request emergency funding to install a hydrogen sulfide emission monitoring system, including alarms and logging the data so we know what's happening, and it's not just our word? And their answer was, the city is investigating additional means to reduce sulfide emissions. Again, nothing concrete, and that's where we stand. I'll skip a little bit of this, and I'll just end with, tonight, will you commit to beginning the process of requesting emergency funding to install a permanent hydrogen sulfide monitoring system to record and respond to the internal and external hydrogen sulfide emissions at the Housatonic water treatment plant, and trigger the injection of oxygen so we can finally solve this problem? Thank you very much. And there are other members here, they may want to speak to reinforce what I'm saying. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Renee Casey. I live at 31 Riverside Drive in Milford, right near Dockside Restaurant. I just wanted to express my concern and opposition about a rumored development that is planned for the United Church of Christ building over on Pequot Street. When the church announced that their historic and beautiful congregation would be closing, I had a bittersweet reaction, of course, because of the loss that we know that we experience when a church closes and when families have to find a new home to worship, fellowship, and practice their faith. But I was also hopeful and optimistic about the potential new open space that we would have. Now we've heard that possibly a developer plans to buy the property and build housing units for disabled veterans. As you all know, the nearby property, formerly owned by Bridgeport Flyer, has already got a housing development that's currently being constructed. The residents of Devon have had to deal with a lot of congestion and limited parking over the years. And now, if this housing development is built, we're going to anticipate a lot more traffic and congestion and parking difficulties. There's a certain restaurant that will remain nameless that has brought in a lot of visitors and patrons, and therefore the parking has been very tough for the residents in that area. If you drive down there at any time between Wednesday afternoon and say like Monday, you'll see what I'm talking about. There are also a lot of young and new families with small children that have moved into the area, and there are also several school bus stops that are nearby. So we're hoping that as residents, we will be invited to be kept abreast and give our input of any plans that the city and the church may have for this area. I also understand that this is mostly going to be a planning and zoning issue, and we will be certainly keeping an eye on those meetings and expressing our concerns to the members of the P&Z board as well. However, we know that the mayor's office, the aldermen, you all play an important role in our safety and the development of the projects in and around all of Milford. I appreciate the opportunity for you to listen to my 2 cents. Thank you.
Hello, Erin Pinson's 27 Cedar Hill Road. I am also here to thank you. I've been chatting with a lot of people lately who, like me, were hit with a big jump in their car taxes this year. And even though I know that the goal was to help most people by lowering our car value, the state's new valuation rules ended up making values higher for some of our specific makes and models. So that got me thinking to the conversation that was had on this board a while back when the mayor said residents would benefit from a lower mill rate if you adopted the state's revised depreciation schedule, and that plan would have tacked on an additional 5% of the MSRP, but also lowered the mill rate by 0.22. So I was trying to figure it out. I did some math, and I did it, just let's say it's a household with 3 older cars, 10 to 15 years old, with a combined assessed value of about $63,000. Under that proposal, their car taxes would have gone up about $230 from the higher valuation, and they'd only save about $15 because of the lower mill rate. So overall, they'd be paying around $215 more under that proposal. So it seems to me like the 0.22 mill rate savings wouldn't have really been more than a drop in the bucket compared to the increase in higher car values. But then I kind of thought like, all right, well, what if they own a home? Because that would change things. At the average home value of $475,000, they would have saved about $73 from the lower mill rate. So all total, they still would have been paying $140 more under that proposal. So I'm here to say thank you, because I know that that was a bipartisan vote. So I'm really appreciative that that was kind of across the board rejected. And I want you to know that you did help protect taxpayers that day. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Matt Nichols, 26 Colonial Avenue in Milford. I'm a neighbor of Renee's and too close to the church that is being shut down. And we've been in the neighborhood for about 20 years now, and it's a very quiet neighborhood. I have 2 sons, Jackson, who's 15, and the younger son who's playing baseball right now down the street. So I'm missing his game to come here to express my concern about the housing development. Dockside has congested our neighborhood already to the point where I can't even park in front of my house at night to bring the groceries in, because a lot of us don't have driveways. So we're trying to scramble, trying to get things out of the car, and adding more to the congestion to that area is just, I think we're at the point where it's too much as it is. There's always safety concerns about cars driving down the street. Again, a lot of kids in the neighborhood. This adding to the small area is just a major concern of mine and my family's. We have a lot of neighbors that I'm in close contact with that support this as well. The concern that we'll be coordinating with, but I wanted to bring it to your attention that it is very important. And my father's a Vietnam veteran, and I had a call today with him because I said he volunteers his time all the time, doing a lot of good things for the vets. And I asked him, what do you think about this in the neighborhood? And he said, I support things for veterans and any benefit that you can give to them, but having that in your neighborhood with it's already so congested, he agreed and thought that it just wasn't the right fit for the neighborhood. I do support veterans, but this development in our small little niche neighborhood in Milford that I dearly hold close to my heart is a terrible concern. I don't want to move out of our neighborhood. That's where I raised my kids. It's supposed to be a starter home 20 years ago, then the housing market crashed, and I'm like, well, I'm staying here a little bit longer, and it's been great, and I love it. So I just wanted to thank you for your time, and hopefully I'll see you soon again. Thanks.
Whoops. Hello. Oh, that works. Hi. My name is Patty Shine. I've had a practice in town since like 1980 as a marriage and family therapist, but that's not why I'm here. I am a resident of Caswell Cove since 2003. I own my condo. And so I just want to say, I don't have any of the facts. You heard all that. I just have my experience and also knowing the experience of my neighbors and what we've talked about over time, that a number of us have tried to address this issue with, trying to find who's the right person, what's the right department, is it state, is it city, and to no avail. What my experience has been is that in the past, this has obviously been a problem for a long time. The odors are terrible. But my experience is that in the past couple of years or few years, it has become extremely intolerable. It's so much worse than it used to be. There are days at a time, and you can drive in your car with the windows up, and it permeates in the car. It permeates the car, the interior of the car. It's really disgusting. I don't have the vocabulary to describe it in a better way. So I just wanted to emphasize the odor and how it affects our daily lives by having to, be there. And you can't even sit outside sometimes because it's just such a strong, noxious odor. So I appreciate anything you can do to help move this forward to correct this problem. Thank you all. Thank you.
Hello all, I'm Christina D'Arcangelo. I've been a lifelong resident here in Milford for over 32 years. I've had several businesses here, and I also am a resident at Caswell Cove condominiums. My concern, besides the smell being horrific, is my health. I have severe asthma, and there have been times that the smell has been so bad that it's caused me to have an asthma attack. And I also get severe migraines from the smell. Can't open my windows, everything has to be stifled shut, and I just really want to bring it to your attention that it's not just dealing with the smell, it's also health concerns that we're all worried about. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Reverend Teresa Kriske, and I also live at Caswell Cove, 637. My husband and I have been there since 2018, and when I first moved in, one night I made the mistake of leaving my window open overlooking the Housatonic. And about 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up sick as a dog from the smell. And since then, there are mornings I walk outside getting accosted by this smell, wanting to go out and walk can't, got to get into my car and go to the beach. And this has been going on off and on once a week or so since we moved in. I think it's time that we do something. It's like Christina said, she's my neighbor downstairs. It's hard to believe that this is not harming our health because it is so repulsive. And I really have a lot of faith that you guys are going to do something about it quickly. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Janine Berlin. I live 20 Spring Lane in Milford. Last month, this board made a baffling, wrong-headed decision to approve building over part of the Watson Field parking lot for a new health department space. This lot is used for many city events that this board should already be aware of. Office space at the Academy or another city-owned building could be expanded far more economically than this new build. It makes no sense to sacrifice an amenity that so many Milford residents value in order to replace existing facilities used by far fewer residents. I understand that you're under time pressure to use or lose federal ARPA money. This plan would cost twice as much as those ARPA funds. This free money is too expensive. If no one in Milford can come up with a less disruptive and less expensive use of ARPA funds, then this rushed and reckless project needs to be scrapped. Please follow the model set by Milford taxpayers every day. We make do with what we have. The one upside I see in this terrible decision is that you're motivating voters to turn out for the upcoming municipal election. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. My name is Sean Barrett. I live at 94 6th Ave, and I'm here to address the board about the tax increases that were thrown upon the Milford residents. For over a decade, Mayor Ben Blake, Mayor Rich Smith kept our taxes manageable, and Milford residents could trust that we would not get whacked with a spike. That was real leadership. But that trust is completely gone under the present administration. In just 2 years, our taxes have shot up by 9%. That's 3 times the national inflation rate last year. That is a gut punch to everybody on this board, and everybody sitting in the audience, and everybody that lives in our city. The worst part about it is the mayor blames past administrations and debt service on bonding. But that's just not true. I went and looked at the city budgets. There's been no increase on debt service, 0. So that's just not true. The mayor was elected to lead, not to deflect. He owes it to every taxpayer in this city to explain why families, seniors, and working folks are paying for this administration's lack of discipline. I'm asking the board to do what the mayor won't do. Take responsibility for protecting taxpayers. Hold him accountable. Stop the excuses. Thank you.
Don't start the clock, Phil. Betsy Ratner, 1423 Windward Road. Castle Cove, deeply concerned citizen that would like immediate action. There's no reason to wait. This is something that deals with people's health. The small city with the big heart, are we? Show it. I think it's very simple. If you care, truly care about citizens, we're talking over 400 people living there that are getting all kinds of reactions, sick. It's not a matter of disconnecting public and safety. It's a preventable thing that you can do by restoring trust, protecting families, and preventing a public crisis. How would you like it to be out there that Milford is doing to their citizens? Because really, it's fixable. It's totally fixable. The cost of inaction, emergency healthcare, environmental cleanup is going to happen otherwise. Leaders and stewards of this community. Let's do the right thing and do the repairs to protect our people. Show constituents that their safety is your top priority, and you really believe in us like we believe in you and all the work that you do that we totally appreciate. With 9% increases with this administration's taxes, it's time to use that money in an appropriate way for people who want to stay healthy and enjoy the life here in Milford. A sincere use of some of this budget money should be allocated to help save lives, and I hope that you think seriously. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jean Weitzel. I love Milford. I've been here for 34 years, and I absolutely love it. The last 8 years, I've lived at Caswell Cove, 224 Pope's Island Road. And I have asthma. My asthma's bad when the big stink happens, and it happens a lot lately. Didn't happen so much 8 years ago. Now it's on a weekly basis, maybe even more frequent. And I can't open my windows. I can't go outside. We don't have people over because we can't sit on the deck. We have a beautiful view, and we can't enjoy it. So please, please do something about this problem. Thank you.
My name is Carol Eaton. I live on 20 Pequot Street, right across the street from the church that we were talking about, United Devon Church. And I'm very concerned about what's happening there. First of all, the street only has 3 houses there, and it's all congested with cars as it is. There isn't any parking for the church itself. There's only a little parking in the back of the building. And I really anticipated maybe another church coming in there, but that didn't work out. So there is a deposit on it now, and they're planning on putting housing in there, and also housing for people that are in wheelchairs. And that's going to cause a lot of problems, along with all the other buildings that they're anticipating building in Devon, high-risers, affordable housing. I spent 20 years working with the revitalization for Devon, and now all this is going to turn around in a matter of a year, and it's going to ruin the town, and the value of our homes are going to go down. And I am very concerned, and I'd like help on this.
Good evening. My name is Nina Barrett, and I live at 32 Hawley Avenue. I'd like to comment on national legislation as it relates to Milford. President Trump and Congress have just passed legislation that will add $4 trillion to the national debt, gut health care and food assistance, raise energy prices, and cut tens of thousands of jobs. And they did it to deliver more tax cuts to billionaires and mega corporations. Has a single Milford Republican come out against this, or even looked to quantify local impact? Are you worried about what this means for your constituents? I am horrified by what Congress's newly passed legislation means for Milford residents, the state of Connecticut, and our country as a whole. It's time for Milford elected Republican officials, including our mayor, to stand up to Trump's administration. Thank you for your time.
I'm Sarah Bromley, 27 Norway Street. I couldn't have timed the sequence of this better because I'm fired up about what the last speaker also spoke about. I come because I come to meetings because I really appreciate all of you and how you volunteer your time for our city. I really appreciate when I see the times when it does seem like that you all are possibly working together to come to solutions that serve our town best and its residents best. But I have to say, I'm a preschool teacher, and sometimes when children make decisions that I'm not happy with, on the toddlers in particular, we have a phrase, we say, sad day, or like sad choice, like so sad, or no thank you. We try to find positive ways to share our disappointment in them. And you're the opposite of children, you're smart adults. And I'm just baffled and saddened and disappointed when I come and listen time after time and I see things come to a vote, and it's just it's like it's like dropping a dot of Dawn dish detergent into a bowl of oil and vinegar or whatever. You see just like this partisan split that just disappoints me, because individually I think that when I talk to each of you, there are things that we can find in common that we can agree on. And when I see this stark partisan split, it just makes me think that as hard as you're working, I think it could maybe work harder to work together, because the things that are coming down from the federal government are hurting us all. And there could be solutions. So the last thing I want to say is that in terms of, I live in Devon, in terms of the housing, things that people have spoken to, I do support the more affordable housing. I do know that change is hard. I miss the diner every day, but I also have a daughter who can't afford to move out. So we need housing, and I think that if we could put our heads together, we can come up with some common sense solutions to figure out this parking and figure out the congestion. Like our public transportation could use some work. Like my daughter couldn't use a bus to go to her job at BJ's because the buses just were not reliable. If we had reliable public transportation that took people where they needed to go, that could help a lot. She ended up walking to work across the bridge to Stratford because the bus never came on time. So that was very roundabout and very bizarre, I think, but I do appreciate all of you. Can we all find a way to really keep the needs of all Milford residents in mind? Each of you represents Republicans and Democrats in your districts. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Wendy Rizzi. I live at Caswell Cove. 3 years ago we bought our beautiful unit. It was magnificent to walk in, and we went on the open house and boom, we had a lying realtor say, excuse me, what is that smell? And the realtor says, it's just low tide. Low tide. I asked my realtor, it's not really low tide. Low tide, it doesn't smell like it. Oh, sorry. I'm not a speaker. I'm just telling you how it is to live at this beautiful place that 8 of us have shown up to say we all are dying from the waste plant. Let's say, can't we fix this? I harassed, oh my God, the sewer commission when Julian read his letter, and I just was like, the guy was useless. But it's not his place to raise any budget. And I thank you a million times for taking your free time and doing the jobs that you all do, because I don't think I could. I really have to commend you, but I'm asking for a little budget vote on our behalf, because, at resale is gonna, anybody with a brain is gonna come in there and say, nope, except that we love it, so maybe someone has to love it as much as we do. But how can you love it when that horrible thing is happening? That's all I gotta say. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name's Megan Doyle. I live at 112 West Town Street. And so I wanted to bring up something interesting that I saw in the newspaper today, which was that the median age in Milford is 46.9 years old. So as we think about that, we want to think about what brings people to Milford. And I think about our foreign softball team and how exciting it is and the opportunities that exist in the community. So I routinely come up here and talk about opportunities for the city. And when we think about holistic planning, it's bringing in communities and families so that if our median age is not 46.9, we may not have as many cars on the street when we lose 30% of population and are older now. So when we think about opportunities for Milford as a board, how can we drive younger families and people here who want to believe and invest in our community? Because we want to see that here. I'm not intending to malign anyone, but I look across the board and I think there's under one person under that age limit when we're here. So we want to think about what are the opportunities for the future for our young people as well when we think about that. So thank you, and thank you for your service, and have a nice evening.
My name is Janella Corkery. I live at 509 Anderson Avenue. I could definitely follow that because I am the proud owner of Holistic Massotherapy, a business dedicated to promoting wellness and reducing stress through professional massage service. I want to thank you for the opportunity to allow me to speak before you today. As I stand before you, I am here to respectfully request your approval to offer chair massage services in selected public spaces across our beautiful city, specifically our stunning beaches, parks, and community events. The Milford Police Department has advised me to seek city approval before moving forward with this initiative, and I appreciate your consideration. Chair massage services have already proven successful in neighboring communities such as New Haven, where the wellness-based activities have been integrated into their public program through partnership with the Wellness Department. The results have been remarkable: stronger community engagement, stress relief for residents and tourists alike, and an added variety to the public spaces. What makes chair massage particularly appealing is its accessibility. Unlike traditional massage services, chair massage does not require a private room or complicated setups. All is needed is a shaded spot and a trained professional. This means we can bring wellness directly to the hearts of our community, making it easier for everyone to experience the benefits of relaxation and stress relief. Imagine families enjoying a day at the beach, with the option to take a few moments and unwind with a quick chair massage. Picture our parks bustling with activity where residents can rejuvenate amidst their busy lives. Envision a community events where wellness is not just an afterthought, but essential theme, fostering connection and engaging the overall experience for everyone involved. I believe that by offering chair massage services in our public spaces, we can create a culture of wellness that benefits all members of our community. It is an opportunity to promote health, happiness, and a sense of belonging among residents and visitors alike. In closing, I urge you to consider the positive impact that chair massage service can have on our community. Together, we can enhance the quality of life for our residents, attract more visitors, and create a more vibrant and engaging community. Thank you for your time and consideration, and I look forward to your support in bringing this initiative to life. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Brown, and I live at 99 Naugatuck Avenue. I want to talk about education funding. Not one single Republican on this board was willing to restore education funding this year. Not one. Last year as well. Now we're firing teachers, others are leaving, and others aren't interested in coming because we fear we are a community that no longer values education. Mayor Gittazio, you used to tell people you care for education. I went on your website, and there isn't a single mention of students, schools, or education. As the leader of the Republicans, you could have secured a vote or two to restore education funding these past 2 years. But you didn't. And I can only assume that was a calculated choice. And now our children will bear the cost. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Wanda Devereaux. I'm a resident of Caswell Cove. I live at 621 Pope's Island Road. I just came up here to simply reiterate what my fellow neighbors have said. A beautiful community that now has this terrible cloud over it. I can't tell you how many times I have had guests at my home and we could enjoy the beauty of the community by going on my deck. I have had people stay over and say, what is that smell? Waking up in the middle of the night, coming and knocking on my bedroom door. This doesn't make sense. This has been going on for years, and it's only gotten worse these last couple of years. When I moved in 1988, it wasn't an issue, but it's a serious issue now. You know, I see these commercials about people suing because years later, a family member is now have cancer, all kinds of medical issues. I mean, I've had two neighbors come up here and tell you that they have asthma. I just can't believe this town, this city, where we pay taxes heavily, can't do anything for our community. Yes, there is 204 units, but there is more than 240 people within the community. Think about the families. No, we don't have a large community of children. It has really been deemed as an elderly community. I embrace that where I live. And I think it's time for you guys to do something. Thank you very much for your time.
Good evening, City Council members. Good evening, Honorable Mayor. Thank you very much. My name is Gus Montanaro. I live at 15 Aspen Circle here in Milford. The main reason why I'm here, because I'm representing this lady right here as a consultant for an organization we are starting called the Action Committee for the Preservation of Devon. Apparently there's a large group of people in Devon who don't like the fact that people who don't live there will decide on the projects that will be built in their community, and they're very scared it's going to destroy the wonderful neighborhood that they live in. And I just want to let you know that thanks to Carol Eaton's invite, I'll be working on that project with them. I also would like to remind everybody on the second topic, I understand there was some crying about the taxes going up, and of course everybody cries when taxes go up, but I want to remind everybody, I believe that the budget is actually voted on by the aldermen, and that's what's approved. So to put all the blame on one man may not be fair. I also heard a lady complain about Trump's bill, but I didn't hear you complain about the 4 years of inflation that the Biden administration caused, which could be a direct cause of any tax increases that you might be facing. I'm sure the police were looking for a raise. I'm sure the firemen were looking for a raise. I'm sure the Public Works Department was looking for a raise. I know I was looking for a raise, and I don't even work for the city. Well, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you. Have a wonderful evening.
Anyone else wishing to address the board can do so at this time. I want to thank you all for coming up and letting you vent to whatever your problems may be in your neighborhoods. We'll be taking every one of those comments in serious consideration, and we will be letting you know. Moving on to the next item on our agenda, item number 3, consideration of minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Aldermen held on June 2nd, 2025. Alderman Pacelli.
I think I'll just do it. Maybe you should just do this.
Yeah. Consideration of the minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Aldermen held on June 2nd, 2025. Do we have a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is consideration of minutes for the special organizational meeting. What? What? The public hearing is completed. We're on to agenda item number 4, a special organizational meeting, which there wasn't. Next item on the agenda is Chairman's report. I don't have a report this evening. Next item on the agenda is Mayor's report. Mr. Mayor, you have a report for us?
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll give my report from here. Apparently the microphones aren't working. As you know, June 21st, we had our summer kickoff firework event down at the harbor. It was a great success. We had a lot of families, friends, and community come out and celebrate the kickoff to summer. I hope you all had a great 4th of July. The beaches were busy. Each of our beach communities celebrated another birthday of our nation. I personally was down at Bayview Beach. I attended the Bayview Beach Parade, which was well attended. It's a great community event. I look forward to that every year. And I've had nothing but good reports throughout the city, throughout the beach communities, that we had a safe, joyous, remarkable weather on the 4th of July. Just want to go over some upcoming community events. You're probably all aware of Cruciani Cares, Christmas in July Toy Drive, Sunday, July 13th. This will be at Foot Field. John is someone who cares truly about the community, gives back to the community, raises money for kids, and makes sure that they have toys under the tree for Christmas. And he loves Christmas so much and loves this community so much that he actually has Christmas in July. So I would take the opportunity to support this event. This is something that brings our community together. And Woodmont Day, another great event coming up very soon. I believe the Rum Runners will be playing down at Woodmont. It's a celebration of neighborhood pride and community spirit. So I would also recommend people to come out and celebrate Woodmont Day. I will be there as well. In these times of weather changes, I just want to highlight storm preparedness. As we move deeper into the summer season, residents of the city, please prioritize storm preparedness. We never know when a storm's coming. We just realized this microburst of heavy wind, which hit us unexpectedly, but I just want to commend our first responders, our public works department. We had a lot of downed trees. My area in my neighborhood, we had about over 1,000 houses that lost power, but the power came on in a very timely manner, enough to save the food in the refrigerator and things like that. So please be prepared, please be aware. We encourage all residents to review their own emergency plans and sign up for Milford Alerts to stay informed. You can go on our city website and you can link on to Milford Alerts, and that'll help update you with any upcoming storms. Another thing I'd like to report to the board is we hired Robert Towns. He's going to be our new Director of Economic and Community Development. I'm pleased to officially welcome Robert Towns III to the City of Milford team as our new Director of Economic and Community Development. Robert is also a proud Milford resident with extensive experience in planning, development, and community engagement. So, on behalf of myself and the Milford team, we are excited to have him on board as we continue to support responsible economic growth throughout the city. And if you're visiting on the second floor of Parsons Government Center, please stop by and say hello to Robert. I'm sure he'll be attending our next meeting as well. And just to let you know, we had a city employee summer cookout down at the harbor, Listman Landing at the pavilion. It was well attended. Our first responders, police, fire, public works, all the departments were invited, and we had a really nice time. It was a beautiful day. Our Director of Public Works and his team cooked, and we want to thank them for that. And with all of that, Mr. Chairman, I would respectfully request your consideration for one agenda item on the agenda tonight, which is 8A, and I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business. I'd like to bring up one thing, Mr. Mayor. Can we make sure that these microphones are working before our next Board of Aldermen meeting? It's a very important issue. I know that my microphone's working and this one is working. I don't know if none of the other ones are working, correct? Yes, so anyways. Mr. Chairman? Yes. Yes, Alderman Healy.
Thank you for your report, Mr. Mayor. And as an alderman, I had asked previously of Justin Rosen, the Chief of Staff. It's very important in terms of affordable housing in the city of Milford, and whose job description will it be in that will do the reporting relative to our statutory compliance requirement to the state of Connecticut on affordable housing for tracking. It has been done previously within the city planner's office. It had been done also by the Director of Economic Development, and he was going to get back to us on that. Has that been codified into one of those two positions? It hasn't been officially put into someone's job description currently? It's a work in progress? But there's been a hodgepodge in terms of the reporting requirement previously, because I've asked for information as a representative of the Board of Aldermen, and there's been finger pointing back and forth. So I'm looking for some clarity relative to that as to who owns the responsibility. I know that the city attorney's office also works to make sure that the compliance is done, and the last update on the statistical data that's required for the state was through the city planner's office, and it was not up to date. So our compliance was not up to date. I have, and that's why I asked your chief of staff to clarify that, and that's what we're looking for. This collaborative process, somebody should have owned that specific process. That's a contemporary issue, that's a national issue, it's a state issue, it's a municipal issue. It's too important of an issue to all of us not to have identified an individual that's responsible for it. And one other mention that I'll make, I see in tonight's agenda that we're going to be approving some overtime, it looks like, for the IT department. On June 6th, when I picked up my last budget book, official budget book, I dropped off a communication to your office. It's a 3-page letter, and it outlined the needs of the IT department. City of Milford spent $50,000 on an outside report that identified how we are substantially understaffed and where our issues are. And within this, I had also asked the consideration and laid out a scenario that would have been a net zero gain to the existing budget to help support the IT department. Adam Heller, who's our IT manager or MIS coordinator, had asked for additional staffing a year before, had asked for 3 positions this time, and we have not supplied him with any. I know funding had gone there, but that was to replace ARPA funding that has paid to upgrade the support relative to managing all the warranties.
Unreserved sewer fund, project accounts, various wastewater expenditures, including electricity and waste removal.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Alderman Federico.
Mr. Chairman, Stan can use my cheerleader voice. Through you. Is it working now? Is it working? Yes. All right. Through you to the finance director, a couple questions on this transfer. It looks like it's coming out of a sewer fund unreserved balance. So can you tell me what the balance is in the reserve fund after? And trying to get a sense of how often do we tap into this fund? And is this fund potentially something that could be used to help with the Caswell Cove issue? I don't know that you can answer all of those, but if you could start with the first one.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, to Alderman Federico's questions, the current balance in the unassigned fund balance for the sewer fund is approximately $3.8 million. As many members of this board may recall, it has been utilized over the years for emergency expenditures, for unbudgeted expenditures due to emergency repairs needed to the treatment plants or to the wastewater system. So we have utilized this account before, and I'll stop there. Was there any other question? Through you, Mr. Chairman, Alderman Federico, that's something up for discussion. It is possible. It is the sewer fund. It's related to the wastewater treatment plant. So the short answer is it is possible, but we would have to discuss that as an administration and as a board in consultation with the wastewater department, the public works director, and I believe the sewer commission should be in the loop as well.
Is there any more discussion on the motion? Alderman Casey.
Just like, thank you. I just want to say to Alderman Federico, I don't know exactly how we address the Carswell Cove situation. I don't know. Maybe Chris can come up. I don't know exactly, but what is the solution to the problem? I guess that's the. I don't know if you want to say come up there because I don't. I'm curious.
Good evening, everyone. Just to clear up some information, I appreciate you letting me get up and speak. The treatment plant down at Housatonic has been our major treatment plant. It serves about 8 million gallons, over 8 million gallons a day. There is an odor. There's always going to be odor around the plant. With the secular weather patterns that we've had, and I know no one wants to hear this over the last few years, where we have extreme dry spells and then long, a significant rain event like they had in Texas, the system actually collects sediment, debris that gets rancid. So that we definitely have some odor control issues. At the present time, we're putting a new press involved, which we hope is going to reduce some of the odor. We're also looking at an additive to put at the Welch's Point pump station. So those are the two things. But I will say this, and I'm not a politician, but you bought a condo next to a treatment plant. It is going to smell. And anyone that tells me they don't, it kind of drives me crazy. Anyone that goes in Manhattan, you're driving down the Henry Hudson, one of the biggest sewage treatment plants in the world, and it smells. And it's next to 10 million people. It's never going to be perfect. And I think people tonight acknowledge that it has had an odor there for many, many years. And the city has made an effort. And to imply that we're not making an effort is not correct. But we have to make sure we make an effort appropriately. An example is this is one of the funds that you're talking about that we're trying to do. We have significant lack of funding in the sewer treatment plant over the last 10 years. It's a significant issue that we're going to address this coming year and the years to follow, that we're going to be coming before the board and asking for significant investments, not just in odor control, but in the plants as a whole. So that's kind of where we're at. It's allocated a little over 8 million, but depending on the dry and the cycle, it could be as low as 5, it could be as high as 20 sometimes. Are you talking about testing for air samples? So I can tell you that we have a number of employees that work, 8-hour shifts, 40 hours a week in the plant. It's not an unhealthy plant. The plant meets all standards, present standards. We continue to test and look at those things. I will say it's not unsafe, and that's all I can tell you. I'm not a chemist, I'm not an environmentalist, but we follow all standards. It really, Alderman Beatty, there's always employees in the plant that have testing equipment on them. It's never unsafe. It's uncomfortable in a sense because it smells. That's a natural byproduct. And the city has made effort adding the oxygen that did alleviate some of it, but we have secular environmental weather patterns now that are making it more challenging to control that odor.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. Hi, Chris.
Hey.
Chris, I know you had just said that there's a bunch of things that need to be done, and I know at one point you were working on a study and preparing a report of all the different things that had to be done. Can you tell me where we are with that study?
Sure. So that's the SSES study, and they're in the process of hopefully completing it. Have you seen people in the neighborhoods? They're smoke testing areas, and we're confirming water flows. So we want to see where we have a lot of I&I, which is water getting into the system. I hope that report will be done in the next 6 months, and then we'll be able to look at stuff. But when I'm talking about other things that need to be done, like our primary clarifiers, is what you guys are authorizing this at the Beaverbrook, that's being updated and upgraded. There's just, these plants run 24/7, they pump 24/7, 43 pump stations, so there's a lot of work.
Thank you.
Yes. Listen, I think it's proactive to look at that, but what I'm trying to really temper that is you did buy a condo near a treatment plant, and to imply that the city isn't doing things is incorrect. They've been looking at multiple things. They continue to look at things to try to alleviate the odor. But there's other odors in that area, not exclusive to the treatment plant, that are causing an effect. Other businesses. And I know people think there isn't, but there's another business down there that when they turn their composting piles, there's a significant odor down there also. That's not... It gives off... And what I'd highly recommend, and I think I've asked the board this multiple times, I highly recommend that the board makes an effort to come down to the treatment plant and see actually the process, because then you'll understand it a little bit better, you know, instead of, I think it would be really productive. Yeah, okay. I'll have to post it because there can't be more than so many, but we're more than happy to do that. Everything in sewage is emergency. That's the truth, and I'm not being funny when I say that. But yes, it's a significant issue. We've been running with one clarifier for a number of months, and this was a capital expense that we need to get going on. Yes, and as Peter has explained, we have money in the reserve account, and that money has been generated through years of surpluses in the account. But you can count on us for this coming year looking to actually put. And I know it becomes a political hot potato, but we're going to be looking at putting some money into the sewer department, significantly more than we're used to. I'm sorry, Bill, I didn't hear you. I don't really have an answer for that. Typically, we've been asked to keep our numbers. Hindsight's always 20. Hindsight's 20/20. All I can tell you is, as I just mentioned, that it's been an issue for a number of years against my recommendation. And I'm talking 10 years ago. We've asked for more money to be put back into these budgets, and they haven't been.
Mr. Chairman, if I just might make a brief comment to Alderman Bevan through you. These expenses are from the current fiscal year that, well, the old fiscal year now that ended June 30th, 25. So you are correct, these were not in the budget, but they weren't in the budget for 24-25. We have about 3 months of past due bills for waste removal, the incineration of biosolids, the electricity costs for both plants, that they've come to the finance department and said, look, we don't have enough in each of those accounts, electricity and waste removal, to pay these bills for the old fiscal year, and that's why they've asked to come before the board for this additional appropriation. Thank you.
Not with the new one, no. There's only one mitigation measure that I'm aware of, and that's adding oxygen to the treatment plant or the pump station at Gulf Pond. When you say how much do we put in, Paul? So it's in the budget under chemicals, in the wastewater budget under chemicals. This is the first I'm hearing that we spend $60 a day. I didn't know that, to be honest with you. I just know that they add chemicals, they add oxygen depending on the flow of the sewage coming into that. So I just want to correct, the one thing that we are presently doing is the oxygen. The other thing that I mentioned before the board earlier was the new press that we're doing, we believe is going to reduce the smell. So the press is a component of the process of treating this. So that's the second step. This was started a year ago, so we're not listening to the people that we're hearing about odors. And the third thing we're looking for is to add another chemical at the Welch's Point pump station, which is hopefully the way the additive works, it has to be put in farther into the line so it treats this sulfur. So those are the three things we're doing. So they haven't been completed yet. So, but those are the three things we have. To imply that we're not, well, but you said, what are we presently doing? We're only doing one right now. But I mentioned that at the beginning of my statement, Paul. I said, I don't know if everyone understood what I was saying. Sure. Yes.
Alderman Smith.
I see where it says that this allocation is for various wastewater expenditures, including electricity and waste removal. Could you just explain for me what kind of, okay, so let's start. Is it only electricity and wastewater removal, or are there other items in addition to those?
So, excuse me, so I believe it's, the electricity bills have gone up substantially, and the city is not immune to those with the added features that were put on. And the sludge component, where we burn our sludge in Waterbury, has gone up substantially. So those are two of the budget allocations, I believe, that are coming, right? Correct, Peter?
Those are the two items listed. Are there any other items that are being covered by this $500,000?
I believe, correct me, Peter, is that those are the only two?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, Alderman Smith, yes, I expect that those are the only two because the deficit in those two accounts is close to 500,000. So we put various expenditures just in case there was a little bit left over by some miracle and there was a shortfall maybe in the other operating or capital accounts in the budget, then we would be able to utilize whatever remainder is left for those because we are not allowed to end the year with a deficit in any of the accounts. Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chairman, Alderman Smith, they are similar. The only difference is that we are dealing with two different funds. So the unassigned or unreserved fund balance for the general fund is the general fund itself, which is the main budget of the city. And then we have the sewer fund, which is a totally separate fund that has its own unassigned balance. So they are similar accounts, but two different funds. Through you, Mr. Chairman, to Alderman Smith, the primary source of revenue is the sewer use fee. And that's on each home, each unit's, condominium units, tax bill, if you will. There are real estate taxes, and then there's the sewer use fee. So that's the primary source of revenue going into the sewer fund. We also have some smaller sources of revenue, like interest revenue, some program revenue that goes in, as well as the $25 debt service assessment fee as well. And that, again, is all part of that. The sewer user fee, as I said, is the primary source. Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chairman, Alderman Smith, it's taken a number of years. The balance does fluctuate. At one point, it was as high as in the 5 million range, and we have utilized some of the balance. At other points in the past, it was down to 2 million or so. We also use, just like we do in the general fund, a small portion is used, it's called a use of fund balance, to help offset the increase in the sewer use fee. So we've done that each year as well as part of the sewer fund budget.
Any more discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, for answering all our questions. Next item on the agenda is a budget memo transfer. Alderman Pacelli.
Agenda item number 10, budget memo transfer, consideration of budget memo transfers number 7 and number 8, Fund 1005, 2812, fiscal year 2025.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Alderman Federico.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, to Alderman Federico, no, we will see more transfers. This is a preliminary transfer, but as I had said in the past years, we are still paying old year bills in July, August, so I do anticipate additional transfers to help close out fiscal year 25. Thank you.
Any more discussion on the motion? Alderman Healy.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, to Alderman Healy, I don't have all the specifics. I would direct those to Director Heller, but from my understanding, it is when his staff is required to come work in excess of their standard hours, whether it's in the evening due to an unforeseen emergency or breakdown, whether it's police, fire, or Parsons, et cetera. I would imagine that's part of this, but if you need more details, Adam Heller could provide that to you. Off the top of my head, some of this could also be when there are contractual wage increases, like the MSA contract recently settled, so that raises the hourly rate. So that sometimes is also a pressure on the overtime, especially when these accounts are left flat over years. When there are increases in the hourly rate due to wage increases, then the overtime budget can go up. So that could be part of it too.
Any more discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 11, refunds list. Alderman Pacelli.
Agenda item 11, consideration of refunds in the amount of $16,674.18.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is report of standing committees. Any standing committee reports? Seeing none, move on to agenda item number 13, reports of special committees. Is there any special committee reports? I don't see any of those. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion on the floor to adjourn, and a second. All in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you for your patience with the microphone system.